Hello everyone. I will show you how to edit the photo, my regular uh, post editing process workflow in this video. First, when I look at this photo, I have to think about the main steps I want to do with these photos. For example, fashion shoot, it's really important to polish the model's skin, and because uh, the color I don't too realistic, so if I want to make it more editorial, I will change the color a little bit. For example, I might change the leaf color a little in cooler tone, and this flower is too pink. It takes too much space attention in this picture, so I might change this color a little bit too. And also model's eyes, I will make them brighter so more pop out. For the entire photo, there's not much to edit in the background. I probably will crop the top and this part, the right part, to make the photo image person's head in more center area. This is the most simple step I will take for photo, but some other photo I might change the background or add it to sky. Mm, but for this one, I will just use most basic steps. So when I open a raw photo in Camera Raw here, I will adjust some basic highlights and shadow here to make it look more neutral. So lower the highlight and boost up the shadow. Also add a little bit of exposure. Sometimes I will change the temperature here if it's really off, but for this one I'm going to change the color uh, in the latest step anyway, so I'm not going to do anything with the temperature. I will lower the contrast a little more because later I will boost the contrast. So right now I just want to say more details. I usually will not do anything sharpening and noise reduction at this first step, because later when everything finish, I will do the sharpening and the noise later. And this is to adjust the level of the photo. So use this. Let's see. Okay, so this makes it more straight. I will use this one. And optics. Okay, that's pretty much what I want to do with a photo in the first step. And when we open the photo, remember to open it as object. You can open it as a photo, but it's just you cannot change this editing later. But if you open as object, we open it in Photoshop. And if we're not satisfied with this setting, we can always come back to change it. So let's open the window layer here. Okay. So when you open as object, there's this symbol here. And if you don't like the setting right now, you can open it and go back to change it a little bit. Let's see how this one looks. Oh, I still like this setting. Okay. So first I will always make a copy of this one, and if I don't like anything I did on this photo, I can always go back to change it. So like I said earlier, the fashion shoot photo is important to polish the skin. So when I enlarge this photo, we can see there are a lot of flaws on the skin. I will use my most common way to deal with the skin. There are a couple of different way of polish skin. I might show a different video, but right now I will show you how I do it regularly. First, use the spot healing brush tool, and when I hit the photo, because this is smart object photo, when I hit it, it will ask you whether to make it to regular photo, and I hit OK. So this will become a regular photo, which means I cannot change the raw setting in this photo anymore. So if I don't like what I made on this one, I will just hide this photo and go back to this original object photo and change the raw setting, and come back and make a copy of this one and do different editing. But for now, I will use this copy and do editing on this photo here. So since it's a portrait shot of head and upper body, a very close shot, so when we enlarge it, the skin will be very visible, and that's why I will use the tool to make it very detailed editing. So we can see there are a lot of flaws on the skin here, and first we need to use this spot removal tool. And when we use this tool, first we need to test the size of it. Usually the smaller the better, but just to say how, just right around the spot. And then we change the hardness to, I use 33% or sometimes 50%, depends on the effect I want to get. Let's say try 50%. Okay, 50% seems good in this one. Okay, so this is the first step I do with the big flaws of the photo, and I will speed up for now. Right now the main flaws on the skin has been cleaned out, and I will look into more the small part of it and some makeup fix it. So for this spot repair tool, it's not only to remove the pimples of the skin. Sometimes for example, there is a little white spot on this one, we can fix that too. And some of the part of the eyes. This part is quite big, so we use a different tool. This is the patch tool. So patch tool, sometimes it's easier to use when I need to repair a big space. So I just circle the spot and then move it to the nearby part to blend them together. Sometimes there's too much hair and block the eyes. I will clean that. But this one, the hairs above eyes, and I kind of like a little bit messy look here, so I don't want to clean all the hairs. Just a little bit next to the hair here. And the reason I use this spot removal, so small brush, because it can clean out the flaws, but without clean out all the poles. You can still see the pole, a little bit of fine wrinkles, details here. If I use too big brush, everything will just be very blurred. For example, I will show you. If I use this big spot and clean out here, this will be very blurred and it will lose all the details. It's not such a big deal if the picture is small, but if you enlarge it to a very close look, then you will see the difference. So right now the skin has been cleaned out. I'll move a little bit on the hand too. For hands, I probably will use patch because it's a big spot here. Oh, here arm has a little bit of pimples here, but that's not a big problem. Once we use the photo skin polish software plugin later, it won't be so obvious anymore. So right now the skin is clean, and let's make a copy of this one and name it as skin repair. Because this part is time consuming, so I don't want to repeat that if I do something wrong later, so I will do the later editing on this copy. And right now I want to clean out some little part of the picture, clean out some part I don't want. For example, there is a string of this one. I can clean that one out. probably doesn't need so many details to be cleaned, but right now this one, because it might be enlarged to a close look, so I just want to make everything very clean here. Again, I will rename this one to be detail repair. I'm gonna make another copy of this one. So for this one, I'm gonna open the PowerPoint photo. I use Imagenomic right now for polish the skin part, and let's see how it looks here. So this is a strong effective. You can compare. See the difference it makes, but I don't like it. It's too much. It makes the skin too smooth here. So I'm gonna try medium. The medium seems okay, but still a little bit too much. I think I can accept this effect. I will hit OK. Okay. So when we bring it very close, right now it seems very smooth now. So here and here. See the difference? If you still think that's too much, you can bring down the opacity a little bit. So here. But since this one, because this part of the chin part, it needs a little bit more skin repair, so I will leave it as 100%, and I maybe will just use the mask tool to reduce a little bit on the cheek part, and I will make the brush opacity to maybe 22, and hit the black color and just brush out a little bit here, especially around the eye place, because I want this part to be a little bit more clear. I don't want it to be too soft here. Okay, just a little bit. So far seems good. Let's see the hand. It will make the hand skin softer too. And I will make this skin polish mainly. Okay, so right now I'm going to change the color of the photo and see what we can adjust. And let's hit Option, Command, and Shift and E. Oh, let me adjust the eyes first. Okay. So for this skin, I want to make the eye more pop out, so I will hit the curve, okay, to be the most bright level. And now I want to double click it, and the underlying layer, this part, I want to move this one to certain degree. Okay, and then I hit Option and click left, the left button of the mouse, and hold it and drag it to the right. Okay. A bit okay. So this and I use Command and I to reverse it. And now use a brush to make a small brush and opacity to 60, and then make the white to brush out the iris part a little bit. See the difference? And now we enlarge it. Right, okay. And I can copy this one too, except to delete this layer mask. And I'm gonna change this setting to a different, bring it down a little. And same method. I want to bring out this part a little bit more. It seems a little too much, and I lower the opacity to 60, just a little. Let's see how much. I can lower a little more. I want this part to be bright, but not so strong, to be a little subtle. Okay. So because we did the skin repair earlier, so the skin part lost the highlight, and that's why I want to bring back the highlight a little bit. And the same thing to copy this part, delete the mask, and adjust this part here. So for this highlight, so the main purpose of adjusting this one is I want to see, so the skin highlight part, to the extent I want it to be highlighted. Maybe like this. Okay. And same method, Command and I reverse it, and use the brush to brush the highlight part out. Mainly it's around the cheekbone here, some part on the nose, forehead, and the chin. And mainly like girls making up, bring the highlight. opacity to 30. I'm gonna paint back a little. I don't want the hand to be too bright. Take the attention off the face. Okay, now seems okay. A little bit on the eyebrow bone here. See, I think the highlight part is important, especially when we use a skin soften tool, and a lot of times it removes the highlight by itself. So see the difference?